Pragmatism, a philosophical movement or system having various forms but generally stressing practical consequences as constituting the essential criterion in determining meaning, truth, or value. Pragmatists contend that most philosophical topics such as nature of knowledge, language, concepts, meaning, belief, and science are all best viewed in terms of their practical uses and successes rather than in terms of representative accuracy. History. It is the first American theory developed in the 19th and 20th centuries in America and then spread throughout, created by Charles Sanders Peirce and William James, then refined by many other people.
One of the most influential educators for modern education and pragmatism was John Dewey. John Dewey lived from 1859 to 1952. He was an American who received his Ph.D. from Johns Hopkins, and some of his main concerns were women's suffrage, peace, educators' rights, and most famously, progressive education. Possibly Dewey's most famous quote is, "Education is a process of living and not a preparation for future living," taken from his work, My Pedagogic Creed. Dewey believed that school should model home life and that the work students do should be able to be applied to the real-world situations outside of the classroom. Another quote from Dewey is, "School must represent life, life as real and vital to the child as that which he carries on in the home, in the neighborhood, or on the playground. School is also a social endeavor. The child learns best when they work with others." Charles Sanders Peirce is considered the founder of American pragmatism. He lived from 1839 to 1914. He was skilled in a variety of fields, including mathematics, chemistry, logic, and language. Peirce believed a meaningful conception must have some sort of experiential cash value. That is, everything that has meaning should have practical application and worth as well. He believed in the verification of ideas through experience. Peirce also believed thought must produce action rather than linger in the mind and lead to indecisiveness. That is, he believed that ideas without action have no purpose. The purpose of thinking is to produce decisions and action plans.
William James is also an American philosopher who adopted pragmatism. James' book of lectures on pragmatism is arguably the most influential book of American philosophy. He believed that pragmatism was the attractive middle ground between the two mainstream approaches of European philosophy. Charles Darwin developed his own interpretation of pragmatism with science. He was a well-known biologist and evolutionist. His On the Origin of Species theory of natural selection implies that reality was open-ended, one of the basic ideas of pragmatism. Auguste Comte was a French philosopher who also favored pragmatism. Many aspects of pragmatism were used in his philosophical and sociological writings. He suggested science could solve problems. He looked to Francis Bacon for much of his insight.
In a pragmatic classroom, you would find one common theme used throughout the entirety of the curriculum. That commonality being hands-on activities as opposed to a curriculum being book-centered. For a pragmatist, teaching methods focus on hands-on problem-solving, experimenting, and projects, often having students work in groups. Only subjects, activities, and experiences should be included in the curriculum which are useful to the present needs of the child and also meet the future expectations of adult life. Curriculum should bring the disciplines together to focus on solving problems in an interdisciplinary way, rather than simply passing down organized bodies of knowledge to new learners. Pragmatists believe that learners should apply their knowledge to real situations through experimental inquiry. They believe that real knowledge can be gained only by activity, experiments, and real-life experiences. The curriculum should consist of such varieties of learning experiences which promote original thinking and freedom to develop social and purposeful attitudes. This prepares students for citizenships, daily living, and future careers. An important concept that pragmatists hold of importance is that of education is a right of the individual granted by the state. The refusal of the state to do so may lead the nation to suffering. It is for the state to make the child capable and confident to meet the problems and challenges of life successfully.